everyone, I'm Jacob. I play Tithla. She's a ranger. Tithla's in Barovia because she's tagged along with some friends and somebody needs to look after them.
Hello, I'm Josh, and I shall be playing Killian Maxwell, a elf celestial warlock who has been travelling around Barovia for a little while and has joined up with the Tempest Guild to try and find his place.
G'day, my name's Tom. I'm playing Jonor, the Aasimar divination wizard. He is here to find the best and the worst of this world, and he's doing it with a bit of naivety and optimism.
Hello, I am Raph, and I'm playing Styx, who is a Gloomforged Paladin, on the journey of rediscovering themselves, quite literally, in the land of Barovia.
Hi, I'm Ash. I play Axel, the gnome fighter, and I'm a master of the shield and a master with Trident.
Hi, I'm Matt. I'm playing Blood Gorson, Path of the World Tree Barbarian.
And I'm Owen, the Dungeon Master of our Curse of Strahd 5th edition campaign. A warning, gentle viewer. Curse of Strahd is a horror-themed Dungeons & Dragons campaign, which means you may hear adult language or adult themes throughout this episode. Hello everybody. Hello and welcome back. Welcome back to the Lost Archives. It is a pleasure and a delight to be seeing all of your gorgeous faces once again. We are back. We are playing Curse of Strahd, the premier horror Dungeons & Dragons campaign that you can catch live right here, twitch.tv/The Lost Archives at 7 p.m. roughly, Australian Eastern Standard Time, as I quickly check the current time, and normally uploaded on a Wednesday morning around about 5 a.m. Australian Eastern Standard Time on YouTube and on any podcast platform of your choice. We also have a little fun bonus. If you're a YouTube member, you get to watch this episode pretty much as soon as we've finished up over here on Twitch. Plus or minus a few hours for me to edit it down and get it all uploaded, but you get early access as a YouTube member. Normally 24 hours minimum early access I aim for. Sometimes it's a little bit less depending on what is happening with my ability to edit and get things published really quickly.
And it's completely for free.
That's not how YouTube membership works, but thank you for that, Raph. So if you do want early access, as well as early access to some other fun videos as well, you can do that through YouTube. It's super, super easy, and it helps us out a lot. Alrighty, we have some fun announcements to share. The first one is, sorry we were away last week. Unfortunately, there was a lot of stuff sort of happening in the background. I had some Easter plans change with my family very last minute, which is actually weirdly unusual for my family. Normally, once there's a plan in place, it takes a natural disaster to unshift it. But not this time. Apparently, we're switching things up and we're going for a more chaotic expression. So we had a bit of a last minute switcheroo of family plans. I was lucky enough to catch up with the lovely Matt in Melbourne yesterday. Was that yesterday or the day before? Day before. While I was away over the weekend, which was super fun. Also caught up with Simon while I was there too. But unfortunately, one of those fucks, and I'm more than happy to blame one of them right here with no context, possibly made me a little bit sick. So if I start losing my voice tonight, it has been coming and going all day. I just want you to remember that's either Matt or Simon's fault. Or any of the other people I caught up with. Could have been any of the other ones.
Quick, Raph, disappears so Owen has to do Styx's voice.
Oh, fuck no, please. For podcast listeners, Raph just fell slowly sideways off his chair. Commitment was phenomenal.
Well, I feel fine, Owen. So.
Okay, so Simon it is then. We're going to blame Simon.
Blame Simon.
Okay, done. Can do.
He's not here to defend himself, so it's fine.
Ideal. Yes, that's how we like it. Awesome sauce. I don't think there's any other fun announcements or things to share. Anything else fun to share before we jump into the session? No? Cool. Sweet. Awesome. I've got a really good recap to get us back in. I know it's been a week since we were last here, so I've got a very thorough recap to catch us all back up to speed. Let me run through that recap now, and we will jump into the session without any further ado. Our series has been following the adventures of the Tempest Adventuring Guild: Theo, Jonor, Tithla, Styx, Killian, Blood, and Axel. Having become trapped within the realm of Barovia while searching for some missing adventurers, the team have travelled north to hunt down the werewolves of the nearby Svarlich Woods as part of a deal struck with Strahd. After tangling with several aquatic humanoid creatures and a monstrous angler fish while crossing Lake Zarevich, the team dragged one of the desiccated corpses that had been contained within the angler's mouth aboard. Suddenly, the corpse began to animate, the dark purple light Styx had observed in the other undead glowing in its empty, gaping eye sockets. Realizing they were talking with Sergei, Strahd's younger brother, the team initially tried to play their cards close to their chest, but both Styx and Killian soon found themselves goaded into action by Sergei's words. Beheading the corpse after Sergei took control of Killian briefly as punishment for insulting him, Styx burned away the undead. However, as the force retreated, Sergei warned they would soon face dire consequences for their actions. Arriving at the northern shore, the team prepared to head into the woodlands beyond, hoping to locate the werewolves in time to rescue the stolen children. Making their way through the dense woodland, following the map markings by Madame Ava, the group soon found themselves emerging into a clearing, a woman sobbing over an eviscerated corpse before them. Approaching the distraught figure, the team soon learned her name was Zuleika, and the corpse in front of her was her mate Emil, who had been murdered by the current leader of the werewolf pack, Kiril. It soon emerged there had been a power struggle within the pack, resulting in the werewolves now forming a new pack under Kiril working for Sergei, and they had been responsible for the kidnapping of children to create an army of werewolves. Forging an uneasy alliance with Zuleika, the team followed her to the den, planning to infiltrate and try and take out Kiril and his loyalists to then allow Zuleika to claim leadership. While their new werewolf ally drew the outer guards away from the cave mouth, the team attempted to sneak inside. However, a moment of poor luck revealed them to the two remaining sentries. With the sentries now alerted to the presence of the team, the party were forced into combat. A series of rapid shots from Tithla, locking the scouts down and allowing the rest of the team to deal some heavy damage. The sounds of battle, though, quickly echoed through the cave network, drawing a pack of wolves led by an older werewolf to the mouth of the cavern, running past Killian, who was still hiding and invisible at this point. With the wolves initially cautious about attacking, an intimidating shout from Blood gave them pause. Soon the wolves turned on the other party members, biting and dragging them to the ground. With the wolves falling to the brutal attacks of the party, though, and the particularly accurate arrows fired from Tithla's bow, the older werewolf guiding them began to grow frenzied, calling out in anguish about his pups being killed. His cries were soon silenced, though, along with almost all of the remaining wolves. Blood, Axel, and Killian rushing ahead to try and prevent any further ambushes from deeper in the cave. Styx at this stage was a bit suspicious of the situation and used a command spell to order the last remaining wolf to revert. I failed that voice. The wolf suddenly twisting and warping into the form of a young child. This revelation left Tithla, Jonor, and Styx stunned, looking down at the feral kid in horror as they realized the awful truth behind the wolves they had been so gleefully slaying. Meanwhile, Blood, Axel, and Killian were locked into combat with more werewolves deeper into the den, soon finding themselves beginning to be overrun by the lupine forms emerging from side tunnels nearby. With the leader of the werewolves returning to the den, revealing that this entire thing had been a trap for the party, Kiril goaded the team before ordering his pack to tear the party apart. Jonor, however, had seen glimpses of this event through his divination magic, which does make a weird sort of spraying sound when he activates it. Using an empowered charm to befuddle Kiril and direct him to order his other werewolves away. With Kiril now separated from his pack and away from prying eyes at the back of the cavern, the team questioned Kiril briefly before Tithla shot him in the back after he confirmed he was working on Sergei's orders. Alone and surrounded, Kiril soon succumbed to the onslaught of attacks from the party, the final blow dealt by Killian's eldritch blasts. And we left off last week, as Killian's eldritch blast blew the back out of Kiril's head, the humanoid form, not yet in his hybrid form, having reverted back to have this conversation with the party, the head snapping back. And then suddenly, with a shudder, snapping forward once again. The back of the skull empty and hollow, the side of the face caved in and missing where Killian's eldritch blast had blown through the head. But the one remaining eye that is still intact, you watch now glows with a dark purple light. And as the head turns towards you, watch as the jaw clicks for a moment, having been partially destroyed by the force of Killian's eldritch blast. The jaw clicks into place, and you hear Sergei's voice once more, emanating, overlapping Kiril's.
Well, well, well. You lot certainly are. Brutal, are you not?
And that is where we left off last week. As the form stands before you, you watch as the flesh begins to grow and partially regenerate. The skull moving back in, the bone knitting as flesh grows over the surface, tendril-like and threaded, with this sort of grey, almost sickly appearance to it. And as the face fully reforms, you watch as the eyeball reforms back into the socket. But again, that whole section Killian had blown out, now this grey, almost dead flesh. And as the head turns and clicks, you watch as the glow now spreads across to the other eye as well, as Sergei stands there before you, again possessing the corpse of another. Would you say or do anything?
Brutal. You say brutal. How about killing fishermen in a lake that do nothing to you? Possessing bodies? That sounds pretty brutal to me.
You think I killed those fishermen? No, I do not waste my time with peasants and peons. I tackle far greater prey, Jonor. But you lot, the hunted, have become the hunters well and truly. To take on Kiril, separate him from his pack, subvert this trap so expertly, well, I must say, I am somewhat impressed.
Look, that's very flattering. We were here to try to, coordinate and stop the, continuous killing of people in this land. What are your thoughts about that?
What you have yet to grasp, Jonor, is that the people of this land mean nothing. They are nothing. They live, they crawl in the dirt, and then they die and become mine.
Can I get a insight for how much is he projecting about these people mean nothing, and he's actually talking about deep down, how does he feel,
For sure. Absolutely. Yeah, I think an insight's appropriate there. That's a 3.
That's a 3.
Jonor, yeah, man. There is no subtext here. There is nothing deeper to unpack here. Again, hard to read a corpse that's being puppeted by some lich somewhere else. So there's not a lot of body language that you can get across here. But I mean, he doesn't seem to give a shit. He does not seem to give less of a shit right now in this moment. If anything, you're not detecting any emotion from him at all. Just pure logic and reason.
Can I roll for why the fuck is he even bothering with us right now?
Yes, absolutely. I'd say insight, or I would also say investigation, Styx. One or the other. You can kind of use your intelligence to piece this together, or your wisdom to try and figure out from the current situation. I'd allow either.
I'm a little bit more insightful, so I'm going to give that a crack.
Fair enough, lad.
Oh, it hasn't come through. It's a 21.
It was a 21. I thought that.
Okay. Styx. At first you thought this was all to taunt you, to derive some sick pleasure from your discomfort, from the discomfort of your friends. Then you began to suspect there was an ulterior motive. Maybe this is about information gathering. Sergei knows that you are working for Strahd. He knows that you've made a bargain with Strahd. He would be a fool not to find out more. Now you think there's something else on top of that. Yes, he is deriving pleasure from this. Yes, he is learning things about you. Should he need to counter you? Should he need to have you be his enemies in the future? Currently you are his enemies, so this is about information gathering, but there's more to it again. He still sees use in at least one of you. And all of this is about getting to that person or persons. You don't think it's everyone, but you think there's at least one member of the group, at at least one person he's still trying to get to, in some way, shape, or form. He still thinks there's a chance here.
If you'll allow it...
Yeah. I normally do.
Normally do. I'm going to cast Branding Smite on myself.
Yep.
And I am going to roll to attack him.
Okay, 100%.
I want to cut his fucking head off.
Yeah, 100%.
It's still not working. It seems that Roll20...
Jump into features and
doesn't like
traits and refresh Roll20. So features and traits and D&D Beyond, jump into Roll20 and refresh, and that normally fixes it.
I've been trying to hit the refresh on Roll20 for about 5 minutes now, and it's just going around in a circle. So
fair enough. Jump into features and traits on D&D Beyond. That also normally fixes it. I don't know why, but it does seem to fix it. The
logging in helps as well.
Maybe I need to try that.
Button.
If you can see the long rest button, you're in the right spot.
I got 2d4s on the Branding Smite.
Yep.
On
so
the
that'll be an additional 2d4.
Sorry, 2 4s on the 2d6s.
So that'll be an additional 8 damage on your Branding Smite.
And then Sunblade attack. It's only 11 to hit.
11 is not enough, unfortunately. As you go to swing down, you watch as the corpse moves, Kiril's body moves with an insane amount of speed, blurring for a moment as it shifts, the shadows gathering around it as it moves right up next to you, smiles this creepy smile as it gets right into your face, Styx. The dead eye sockets looking at you with this purple glow, matching your own within your eyes, before almost teleporting back, the speed at which it moves, right to the back behind the rest of you as he stands there. Sorry, I should put the voice on. I should do it properly.
I could still call for help right now. And there's a pack of wolves out there, still loyal to me. Or at least the meat puppet I use right now.
Do not give him any further information. Do not trust him.
Okay.
I have known this creature for a long time. He is no better and no worse than his brother.
Come now, Styx. Is that really the way to thank me for having you at least partially reassembled? Oh, sorry. You hadn't quite learned that yet, had you?
I won my death as a freedom. I thank you for nothing. Your
Death.
grip on immortality is not a blessing. You know it is a curse.
The grave is no bar to my cause, Styx, soulless. Those who die are mine. Their bodies, their souls, their minds. I own the dead here in Barovia, and you have no idea just how powerful I have grown on the feast of souls provided to me. Strahd contents himself with blood, a paltry meal. I find the soul far more palatable. And as for this curse, I am here to torment my brother, to bring him pain and anguish and sorrow. His death means nothing. In death, he would be mine completely. Yet his pain is far more delightful. I'll take him eventually, when I bore and tire. But for now, hurting Strahd von Zarovich is the only joy and pleasure left to me. Bar a few tasty treats.
Irina would be disgusted by you.
So you've made the connection, have you? You're smarter than Strahd. He still hasn't figured out that she's been reborn. You did well to get Irina out of Valakovich. I would have had her, you know, if it were not for Theo. He arrived at precisely the right time. Oh, but you probably think she's out of my reach now, at the monastery. Don't you?
Enough games. Why are you here?
Excellent question, Styx. I'm here because your deal with my brother put you on a collision course with me. Sooner or later. I prefer to do these things up front. Face to face, as it were. You'll be making your way to my home soon, I imagine. That's where he'll send you next, now that you've accomplished your little task and his pups are back in line, the dogs brought to heel. I propose something different. You don't need to work for him to earn your freedom. I could let you out right now. No strings attached, no task required, only that it will piss him off more. So what will it be? Do you want to work for Strahd von Zarovich? Start a war in these lands that will kill, well, everyone. And leave them in my domain regardless at the end? Or just walk away? It's not your fight. Well, Soulless, it is yours, I guess. But as you said, you earned your death. Why are you still here? Walk away. That is the bargain I offer you.
Seems incoherent that you're, using the souls of everyone in this land. You're saying, oh, if you don't fight, they all die. Or if we leave, they all die. You're not really consistent with that reasoning there.
I'm not killing everyone here. I have no need of it. People kill themselves. People fall to the dangers and the darkness of these lands. Why would I need to even raise my hand? But if you march on my temple, there will be bloodshed, Jonor. More than you can imagine. What you've seen here is a taste of what I have for you and your friends. Don't test me.
That does sound like what you probably would say. Yeah, and you speak of souls being kept in this land. You and your brother were humans once before, so does this mean you're all stuck here as well? One of your souls is being held by each other or something like that?
Good question, Jonor. Can you make me another insight check as you ask that question? Styx, you get this for free. You've already passed your insight.
That'll be a 6.
All is well in Strahd's mind. In Sergei's mind. Nothing to worry about. You've got nothing. Nothing to worry about. Styx. Despite the fact that he's puppeting Kiril's corpse right now, a flicker of annoyance crosses the face of the body in front of you. He did not like that question. He did not like that question one bit. But a moment later and it's gone.
Oh, please. Our souls have been burned to use as energy and fuel for our transformation. We're not trapped here. Strahd is. I can leave whenever I want.
Tithla.
Tithla would have taken just a slight step back at the start of this, and she would be trying to transfer her hunter's mark onto what is
puppeting the
occupying Kiril. Yes, it says you can magically mark one creature you can see within range as your quarry. Tithla's however it works, up to you. Don't have to say now, but that's what she's going to try and do, is focus on establishing that connection to whatever that spirit is.
Can you make me a spellcasting check, Tithla? D20 plus your spellcasting modifier, as if you were making a ranged spell attack. Or a melee spell attack.
That.
I like that Jonor's consistently just like, oh, well, all seems legit.
The 22.
22. Tithla, as you try and connect, you can feel the magic try to take hold and then fizzle out. The range is too great. What you're trying to cast Hunter's Mark on is too far away. Whatever magic he's using to remotely puppet these corpses, it does seem to work over a very long distance. The source of this, Sergei himself, is not close enough. But if you were closer and within range, you think this would work. What's more, I will give you one more free thing. You can feel the magic begin to trace south before fizzling out.
Okay.
I'd probably like to add that, like, at this point, Blood is probably not as, like, invested in this whole Sergei situation.
Family drama.
Strahd, like, he's been in Barovia with Axel, like, only probably a few days.
Yeah.
So he's
like
probably
your third
not
day,
as, like,
fourth
invested
day.
in all of this. So he's probably, like, in the back as well. Like, maybe kind of, like, I don't know, like, kind of listening in, but sort of just, like, picking around the room.
Okay.
Well, I think if I think after that doesn't work for Tithla, she might grab Blood and say, come and just give me a hand with this. And she's starting to make a fire in the corner with the intent of throwing this body into that fire.
Oh, Blood.
So that's the kind of fire.
For sure. Blood, did you want to make an investigation check to look around the room, or perception check?
Probably more of a perception check. And probably... Yeah. Knowing what he knows now from the statue as well, probably like not wanting to make eye contact, but probably wanting to know a little bit more, maybe see if he recognizes or knows anything about the statue in the corner, maybe.
Yeah, for sure. I think that's a very good idea.
Yeah.
Alrighty, so 20 on the perception check. Very nice. As you begin to look around the room, not wanting to make eye contact with the statue, but still interested in what's happening with the statue and what's going on with it, Blood, you notice that since Kiril's death, the glow that had surrounded the eyes of that statue has shifted and changed. It's no longer this almost shadowed coloration. You can see that it now is crystal clear white light pouring from the eyes of the statue, almost moonlight in appearance. And as you begin to sort of pick around the room, you can see that around the base of that statue, smoke or some shadow-like substance has begun to form and twist around the base of the statue, looking, almost like the mist, but much darker and almost smoke-like in appearance. And as you notice this and glance across, you feel a pull within you, a sensation of almost like interest, curiosity about this pull to move closer.
Is it like a... I don't know. Would Blood want to go close to it though?
Yeah, just go for it. Why not?
Yeah. Sure. Blood gets a little bit closer then.
As you move closer, Blood, the shadows begin to writhe and twist. And as you begin to step up a little bit closer, you watch as one of the cuts across your body, the bite actually where you had been... Actually, no, sorry, it was a scratch, was it? It was a scratch that triggered you. The scratch where you'd been harmed. You watch as a few droplets of blood pull from the wound and fly over towards the statue, splashing across the surface before fizzling away into nothingness, like water on a hot road. And then stepping from the shadow, almost overlaid within the statue itself, you watch as a large, dark wolf drops down from the platform and stands in front of you.
Whoa.
As you look around, Blood, to see the reaction from your colleagues, you watch as Tithla walks right through this, looking around, going, "All right, we're gonna make a fire now, Blood. Let me get some sticks." And he's like making a fire right on the floor next to you. She doesn't seem to be able to see this. None of your companions seem to be able to see this right now.
What is the wolf doing?
seems to be looking towards you curiously. You can see white lined fur around its mouth and muzzle and its eyes. Orange yellow eyes gaze at you curiously.
Blood is kind of like, as much as he's this big burly Meloran orc, he's probably a little scared. And the only thing he can really fall back on in this moment is like he's tied to Melora. So he's gonna try and like reach out to Melora and just sort of be like, Melora, wolf is scary. Trust the wolf. We'll walk away. Are you there?
Could you make me a religion check, please, Blood?
Yeah, he's not very religious, but he'll.
You're also separated from Melora in the bounds of this demi-plane, which the gods have trouble accessing. 6 makes perfect sense, unfortunately.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
That's a
As you try and reach out, there is no answering call. There's no sense of comfort or direction that comes from your patron. Instead, you watch as the wolf looks towards you curiously once again, stepping forwards and sniffing the air, seemingly interested in what you're doing. And then, as you sort of say this plea to Melora, you watch as the wolf cocks its head, almost like it can hear you. And then looks over towards the corpse, and you watch as the mouth pulls up in a snarl before the wolf turns back to you and cocks its head again.
Angry at Kiril?
You watch as the wolf kind of shakes itself a little bit, looks over towards the corpse, and then seems to look up and trace something you can't see. A line of it almost looks like following this direction of something rising from the corpse and moving south before turning back to you and cocking its head again.
What are you? You are not just wolf. You are something else. Yes?
You watch as the wolf leans closer, moving to press its muzzle into your chest.
What? This is strange. Yet I do not... It is not as scary as I thought.
As the spirit, this dark wolf, touches you, Blood, you feel this impression, this weight. This entity is old. It is hungry. It is powerful. It is vicious. It is the spirit of the wolves here. And it is furious. It is rage. The outward appearance, this calm demeanor, hides a pool of violence and fury, but not directed at you or your companions. Directed elsewhere. And you hear a name, not spoken aloud, but an impression of one. Lycagon.
Lycagon?
Lycagon.
Blood probably picks up on this, like, anger. You are angry. Blood understand. Blood is angry too for what has happened here. Innocent lives lost. Unnecessary. I understand. You are angry too, then. It did not have to be this way.
There's confusion. The death of the pups is a mild annoyance. The presence of this figure, the presence of Sergei here, that, in this territory, that is the unforgivable crime that has been committed here. That is the cause of the anger. And it seems to be far deeper than that. There is resentment and hatred. And something more. Can you make me an insight check, please, Blood?
Sure.
This is all kind of happening in the background. We'll jump back to the rest of you guys talking to the corpse of Kiril.
Not terrible.
14. Yeah. There's definitely more here. An ancient enmity. And a fresh anger. Werewolves are not meant to be collared, to be brought to heel. Sergei has done both, and now he puppets the corpse of one of them for his own ends. There is anger and fury at that.
I make the connection again, looking at the puppeted corpse, which I'm assuming is still being puppeted
Still
at this
talking,
point.
still chatting to the others at this point, yeah.
I kind of like glance over at that and look back at the wolf. Ah, that is your quarry then.
You feel the
Blood
rage
does not-
flare and burn inside this creature for a moment. And then
Blood does not understand who this Sergei is, but Sergei seems to be the one who tricked your kind. Am I right? Is Blood right?
yes, you can feel it, Blood. Confirmation, a sense of connection. Yes, you are right. And more, an invitation. The rage and fury of the wolf has no outlet. But your rage and your fury is tied to a physical form. You could help this entity, Blood. Together, your rage and fury could burn this thing, destroy it, tear it apart with your bare teeth.
In this moment,
Yeah.
Blood is very tempted to allow this being into his presence, into his being, but he wants to think back with any of his teachings to Melora. I mean, Melora is what, the goddess of
the wilds, of the storms. Yeah.
Yeah. Does Melora have any sort of connection to anything like Lycan in as far as Blood is aware of in Nostea?
No connection to lichens as far as Blood is aware. No like hatred for them. She's not like Arathis, the god of civilization, who sees lichens as a chaotic force who must be kept from civilized places. Melora is ambivalent. Melora doesn't care about a lot of stuff. As far as gods go, pretty chill. Doesn't like prayer, doesn't like devotion. She prefers people to act and prove themselves in survival, in conquering, or living in the wilds to achieve like a oneness or a harmony. That is what she prefers to see.
Okay. And Melora, and like it probably stands to reason that like Melora's been around for a long time, and like, you know, probably a guardian or some sort of spirit perhaps that has existed for such a long time, that has had various creatures of all shapes and sizes walk but around and amongst her domain, being in the sea or in the forest. So I think in this moment there's a sort of a sense of maybe a tenuous trust between Blood and this creature. Yeah.
You know that Melora seeks balance, Blood. Balance in the natural order, in a way.
Yep.
I guess in a way, you can kind of feel a similar sense from this creature. It is seeking to rebalance the scales in this scenario.
Yeah.
So there is a synergy there for sure.
There's an opportunity to...
Potentially.
Yeah.
We're going to jump back with the others while you muse over your decision. Tithla, as you go to build the fire, you watch as Blood kind of seizes up and pauses for a moment, reaches out as if to touch something that you can't see. His hand kind of just moves around a bit, and then he goes a bit still and a bit quiet. And as you try and sort of grab his attention, he just sort of like pats you aside and doesn't really pay much attention to you as you continue to build this fire by yourself. Blood kind of seems to be something going on as he stares at this weird statue. Continue to build your fire. Yep, cool.
Keep going.
Brilliant. Styx, Jonor, Axel, Killian. As Blood sort of like wanders off and just looks at this statue, kind of nodding occasionally, Tithla's like gathering together bits of the broken cages and broken fencing. She now looks like she's trying to build a bonfire of some sorts behind you. What would the four of you be doing? You're having this conversation with Sergei.
I have a couple of questions.
Oh boy.
The like
How easy is it to
remembrance.
remove an arm from a socket? Depends on the angle and the way in which you rotate torsionally. The hardest bit's going to be to pop the socket out of the joint, but once you've got it out, really, then it's all about the torsional forces. You want to twist so that you can break those ligaments and tendons. Sorry, you should ask your question.
It's a fun fact. So, firstly, a while ago, Jonor made the connection that there was a big, I think it was the moon or the sun in the sky that shouldn't be there.
Yeah, the moon.
The moon.
Is Styx aware of that information? I can't remember if that was ever passed.
I don't think I've
share
given it out yet.
You haven't?
I was definitely meaning to. I'm pretty sure I was meaning to. I saw it. I stopped talking because Grinner was there.
That's right.
That's right.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Next question. Solus was here, either made here or just was here for quite a while prior to.
Before it was a demi-plane. So Solus wasn't forged here. Solus was forged far away in a distant land, but brought here with Tatiana.
So okay. So then this demi-plane did exist prior to Strahd and Sergei.
Not as a demi-plane. It existed as a land, like a country, as part of a much larger place. The name of that place, what it was, you don't have those memories yet, Styx. Solus, those parts of your history you can't even remember. What you do remember is being carried by Tatiana. You remember, I think the earliest memory you have was her crossing the bridge for the very first time into Barovia, seeing the castle being constructed. But you know that you came here with Tatiana after the land had been conquered by the von Zaroviches, by Strahd, Sergei, and his father. And you know that his father died soon after, while the castle was being constructed, and that the brothers were an invading force that took over this land. And then that fateful night, when they revealed their true monstrous forms and you and Tatiana died, something happened, and now this land is being lifted up and placed inside its own, like a fugue state, basically. It is locked away from everywhere else. But it was once part of it. It was like just a country like any other. Could have even been Nostea. You don't know.
Okay, 2 more questions then. First one, history question. Do I have any idea of what instigated this fallout? I know that Tatiana had a big part to play in that, but do I know exactly what has caused the rift between the brothers?
So what you know so far from your visions and from your memories, you know that the brothers had always had a strained relationship. I think you've seen that a few times now in the past. They were polite, they would get along, but there was always this undercurrent. Strahd saw himself as superior, as the elder, and Sergei was jealous of that, and that kind of fueled Strahd to be much more malicious, to be very like, what's what I'm looking for here? To bully his younger brother in a way and kind of lord over him. So this is a lifetime of resentment. In terms of a moment where things bubbled over, you've had the closest you've had is that vision on the bridge when you broke, when Strahd accused Sergei of stealing Tatiana from him, and Sergei accused Strahd of spoiling Tatiana. So yeah, I mean, there's inferences there you can draw for sure. And Tatiana denying both and being like, you're both monsters, I want nothing to do with either of you. Yeah.
Okay, final question is more around my patron, my goddess that I follow, and the knowledge that I might have from that background of, can souls be destroyed, burned up and used in the way that Sergei is suggesting, or do they, like energy, just find a different form and still subsist?
Styx, can you make me an Arcana or a Religion check? Your choice. Excellent question.
Arcana or Religion?
This will be, I'm going to feed in a little bit of information about liches as well.
I'm going Religion on this one.
Okay.
Oh, nat 20.
Holy shit.
That's my boy.
Here's what you know. Sergei is a lich. You've kind of put this together now. You know that the deal he's made is to bring his mind and body back as a lich, which means that there is somewhere a container or phylactery containing what is left of his soul, what is left of his essence, and possibly his heart or a representation of it. Liches must consume souls to live. They feed on the energy, the life force of others. Souls that are consumed in this way are destroyed utterly. They are gone. Forever. In a closed circuit like Barovia, your initial thought is that souls could only be recycled. The souls in Barovia aren't escaping anywhere. They're not going anywhere. Which means that eventually Sergei will run out of food in the most dark way possible. It means that eventually, without fresh adventurers being brought through the mists, Sergei will hunger and starve, as will Strahd. With a natural 20, without that many souls to go around, with souls being lost, you can now start to understand some of the people that you've interacted with. Some of the Barovians, some of the Vistani, some of the people here are born without souls. They have to be, because there's not enough. The rest are consumed.
Whoa.
A vampire can feed on a soulless body, but it's not the same energy, it's not the same life force that they get from it. With this carrying on, Strahd will eventually go hungry as well. Both of them have been doing this for a very, very long time. The only thing keeping this ecosystem running is adventurers being pulled through from other lands. Which, with a natural 20, gives you one final, very interesting question. Tatiana's soul was one of the first, probably the first to be lost. She was the first one to die when Barovia was pulled into the demiplane. You were there. Her soul has only just been reborn now. Why? If there's not enough souls to go around, if that's all been happening time and time again, and you know time has passed, a lot of time has passed, why has she only just been reborn now? That is very interesting.
I think Styx is just going to begin to laugh at this point.
Oh my god. Terrifying.
One man's laugh is another man's seizure. Yeah. As you begin laughing, you watch as the corpse turns towards you.
Oh, I'm sorry. Was it something I said?
You have found your own doom. You will starve here. This is your end.
You're more clever than I gave you credit for, Sword. But no, I will not starve here. I can leave whenever I wish, and with a fresh supply of meat from other worlds brought through, I find myself more than sufficiently sated. But thank you for your concern.
It brings me joy.
Can I roll to see if he can actually leave? I don't trust this motherfucker.
That's an inside check.
Yeah.
For sure.
Yeah.
I was going to goad him, but yeah.
Unnatural 20.
Oh, that's a good one.
Oh. Raph, you're rolling well tonight. Oh, could you not
It's
hear the
gotta happen
laugh chat?
eventually.
That's all right. Raph can do the laugh again. Raph, do you want to do the laugh
yeah.
again? That's definitely come through. I can definitely see that on the audio coming through. I can see why it was like the noise gate was like kicking and being like, "Oh, this must be no. This can't be human speech. Suppress." But no, I quickly held it off while we were doing that. Yikes. Unnatural 20 Styx. Oh yeah, he's full of shit. Full of shit. He can't leave. He's stuck here. Same as Strahd. They're both stuck here. And what's more, he knows he's fucked. He's realized this long ago. you don't, like, from his reaction, you don't think many others have. He's surprised that you figured this out, and he's annoyed that you figured this out. This is one more thing you've learned that you could potentially use against him. He's pissed right now, Solus. Styx. He is unhappy with you.
You have built your golden doom. All this power, lesser brother. This is your end.
As you say that, Styx, I am going to throw us into initiative, because the second you say that,
So glad you said that, because I was gearing up towards it, but I was like,
we all knew where this was going. I was surprised that you guys didn't jump at the chance for a potential escape out of here. But then again, like, you don't trust him, so why would you accept anything from Sergei? All right, make sure you click on your tokens and then click on initiative. Roll initiative.
Do you want me to do this as well?
Yes, I do, because something will happen on your turn, and it depends on what you choose to do. So yes, I definitely do.
I'm going to move my character closer to the statue, though.
Yes, that is a very good idea. We'll move Tithla over towards the statue as well, because she was currently making a little campfire over there. I love the edit up to make like a pyre for him, Tithla. You're like, all right, burn the witch. It's time. Burn the witch. Just ready to rock and roll. Fuck this guy.
yes, Sergei, I'd love a way out of here. Feed me to your soul grinder.
Yeah. Is that what you suspect the situation was? You think he'd offer you a way out, but then actually just consume your souls? Is that your theory?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, especially after what you just revealed to Styx as well.
I'm not going to say anything, but it's not a completely ridiculous thing to suggest. Let me put it that way. It's not a crazy suggestion. Awesome sauce. Alrighty. Oh, let me just roll for. Oh yeah, sorry. I need to use the new one, don't I? So, because he's no longer Kiril, he is now something else. Cyril, yeah.
What? What?
Yeah. What's wrong?
What?
What's wrong?
What?
What? What?
Well, he's now
What?
he's now a animated corpse of a werewolf, being puppeted by
that's
Strahd. So it's a little bit different how his stat block works now.
Not
Awesome
a
sauce. He is
werewolf,
going on
but it's hybrid
12. Brilliant.
You're
Which
not
means
a werewolf, Owen. Come on.
which means that first off in the round, have we got everyone there? Styx, Jonor, Blood, Tithla, Kiril, and Killian. 6 and
me.
18. Jonor 16. Yeah, Axel, where's yours, buddy?
Sorry.
Did you not click on
Should
your
be
token?
coming through.
Son of a bitch. There it is.
Yeah, no,
Alright.
my stuff wasn't loaded.
He hadn't logged in. We got him. So Styx on 18, Jonor on 16, Blood on 15, Tithla on 14, Kiril, quote unquote, on 12, Axel and Killian both sharing an initiative count of 10. And then at
I'd
the end
like
of the
to point
round,
out again,
Yeah.
since Axel's been part of the party,
guys
every
have been
initiative we've had,
synchronized.
it's either been me on top or Axel on top.
Ooh. It's pretty funny. They do say that adventurers, when they get in close contact, begin to sync up their initiative rolls. I have heard that said that when adventurers live together, their initiative rolls do generally begin to sync up.
Yeah.
Yeah, I have heard that before.
Must be fact.
I believe it.
Oh man. Styx, rather appropriately, you are up first. I'm not going to do the surprise round. You knew this was coming. Have at him. I'm not going to do this as a surprise round. As he goes to attack you, I mean, all of you knew this was happening. All of you were geared up and ready. I'm not going to insult your intelligence by pretending your characters are caught by surprise on this one. You can hear Styx deliberately goading this thing. Like, there's no surprise here. No, you know what's happening. And it's the second time you've talked him into attacking you. No, this is the third time you've talked him into attacking you. You know how this song and dance goes now. Styx, you're up first.
Okay, so how long's it been since I tried to attack him before, when we first started this parlay?
5 minutes.
Okay, all right. Then I will recast Branding Smite as a bonus action.
Yep, fantastic. Great spell.
And 6.
6 extra radiant damage when you land your next strike.
6 extra radiant damage. First, nat 20
Fuck
again.
Yes. Holy shit. So that's actually going to be, because it's a D, 2d6 that you roll. So that's actually going to be 18 extra radiant damage on the branding smite for the crit.
And,
plus 7 damage. So that's going to be 25. And then plus an additional...
an additional 1d8 of radiant because of the sun sword, which I can't work out how to roll on D&D Beyond, so I'm just going to roll that over on
that's an 8.
the other one.
So that's going to be another 16 on top of that. Oh my god. So hang on. So 18, 25, 31, 41, plus an additional... your Sunblade, its standard damage is... where are we? A D6, isn't it, that it rolls for the...
No, 1d8.
1d8. Okay, so plus an additional 8 on top of that again. So 49 points of radiant damage. Oh my god. Paladin crit on a smite with your radiant smite. Branding smite, sorry. Styx, you just... Sunsword glows to life. You channel your rage, your fury, your energy into it, and you cut the corpse in half. As the corpse burns in pieces, you watch as for a moment the purple goes black, the corpse burning, the eye sockets burning out, and then tendrils begin to join and knit the corpse back together, the shadows rising around it. But not all of it. Large chunks of the corpse are burned away from this attack, and you watch as for a moment the light dims and flickers in the eyes of this corpse as it tries to knit itself back together, that grey flesh growing to bind the gaps together until there's almost like these grey zigzag stitch marks completely down the middle of the corpse, binding it together. And you hear Sergei.
I won't deny that stung a bit, Styx.
Good.
There it is.
The end of my turn.
Jonor, you are up next.
I pull out this hand in front of me and give it a big old push into that crate behind it if I can. This hand just gets the face and bonks it on the head, trying to push it 5 feet back.
Nice. I believe I make a strength saving throw.
Strength throw, yeah. B17 is DC.
17 is the DC. Strength saving throw is 21. Sorry, mate.
Oh, yeah, fair enough. Well, I've got like 99 problems here, but this lich is not one. As I cast Tasha's Hideous Laughter.
I'll make a con save. Con save? Yeah, con save for Tasha's. Whiz save.
Whiz, please.
Whiz save.
19 again, 17 again.
Oh, that's a fail. That's a 10. You listen as the most horrendous, the second most horrendous laugh that you've heard in the last 5 minutes echoes from the corpse's mouth. As it drops to the ground, almost like the connection between Sergei and this corpse is broken somewhat by the laughter.
And Jonor is going to take like one step back, another one again, just sort of creeping away, getting away from that thing.
Yeah, for sure.
Looks behind him to see if there's any werewolves sort of down that hallway as well.
Jonor, as you peek down the corridor looking down, you can see no sign of any werewolves at the moment. But do you want to make me a perception check, see what you can hear?
Yeah, absolutely. That is persuasion. Let's add a +1 to that.
9. That's all good, mate. Nothing to worry about. Nothing wrong, looking good. You've got nothing to worry about here, mate. You can chill.
Perfect. That's it for me.
Fantastic. Blood. On your turn, my question to you is, you can kind of hear stuff's happening in the background. Your focus is on the statue, but you can hear shit's beginning to go down. You hear the laughter of this possessed corpse. You can hear that something bad is happening. And I will bring us across to the map, actually, before I forget, hey? You can hear stuff's going badly. Do you accept the invitation from this Lycagon?
Yeah, Blood thinks back. towards everything that led him to this moment. He's sort of leaving the village and his sort of righteous quest to show his, I guess, father now that he is worthy and that he's worthy of his of being brought back from death, essentially, by Meloran, where his mother's faith may have failed, and that his father's faith is starting to perhaps be a blight or a problem, and he wishes to undo that. So he sees this as another card, another power that he could possess that could help him in the future, and not sensing an inherent evil from this creature, but more a similar want for to rid the world of this darkness, this evil. So in this moment, there's an alignment, and I think in this moment, Blood accepts the help of this Lycagon.
Blood, as you accept, there is a rush, push that you feel, and then almost like a tingle, like you have lost sensation in your arms, your legs, your chest, pins and needles running up and down your limbs as the spirit howls and then dives into your chest. I'm going to send across to you the stat block for a werewolf. Now, you may use the stat block of the werewolf when you rage. You may transform. For the time being, this seems to be how it works. When you rage, you may transform into this werewolf form. You may use all of the effects of the werewolf, except obviously for the longbow, which is when it's in its humanoid form. But you can use the hybrid form attacks. You have the multi-attack, which is the bite and the scratch. For the time being, that is the benefit. We will talk about the other stuff. I think
it's all benefits, right?
It's all benefits.
All benefits. The link is now in the chat. You should just click on it and pull it open.
Yes, right.
Oh,
You now
Grinner
have
just missed out
access.
on that.
He just did.
Yeah. If Grinner hadn't gone and poked the vampire, he might have been chasing the wolf. Blood. As you come out of this effect, as you find yourself awakening, the spirit is gone. You can see the statue behind you. You can see this horrifying sight of the corpse bound together by this grey skin and black shadows, beginning to turn towards Killian, Axel, and Styx, looking like it's ready to... Oh, sorry, no, it's on the ground laughing at this point, sorry. On the ground laughing as you see this figure before you, and as you look at it, you feel that rage build within you.
Yeah, Blood is gonna rage like he does, you know?
As you rage, you watch as Blood's naturally dark hair begins to grow long and shaggy, the green skin giving way beneath a pelt of black fur, white lines under the eyes and around the maw, as Blood transforms into this hybrid wolf form. Blood, as you take on the werewolf form, for the moment you may only attack Kiril. Or should we say Sergei? The rage is directed at this figure, and as you are swept along in the tide of Lycagon's rage, you may only target Kiril slash Sergei in this moment. And what's more, as you take on the hybrid form, you can see this thread of weave, almost like strings, moving down from above, from the stonework above, tying themselves to the arms and legs, mouth and head of this corpse.
Fuck yeah. Blood in this rage form and in this hybrid form, he can still use his regular attacks and stuff, right?
You can still use your regular attacks, absolutely. But you've also got access to the werewolf attacks if you'd like to as well.
I don't have any idea what they do yet. So
that's okay. So I can tell you right now. So you've got a bite attack, which is a +5 to hit, does 2d8 +3. And then you've also got a scratch attack, which is +5 and deals 2d6 +3 slashing damage. And you can do one of each if you'd like. I'm happy to roll them, and I can tell you what the damage is if you like. You also have advantage on attacks if at least one of your allies is within 5 feet.
Oh, cool. All right. Yeah, sweet. Let's bite this thing and Yeah, let's just do that. That sounds
Done.
good.
You get to do both the bite and the scratch. I'll roll with advantage, and I'll let you know what the to hit and the damage is. Okay, so the first attack is a 16, which is enough. The second attack is a natural 20.
Yeah. Hey, let's go!
So for the first attack, for the bite, that's going to be 11 points of damage, and for the scratch, that's going to be 18 points of damage.
Okay. Nice.
You also gain your additional rage bonus, which is a +3 damage. Your rage, +3 to each. Do that too. Blood, as you rush over, taking on this hybrid wolf form, Styx, Axel, Killian, Tithla, you just watch as Blood immediately transforms into this like black-furred wolf and begins laying into Kiril on the ground, the corpse of Kiril on the ground. Tithla, you're probably a little bit concerned by this as you watch Blood just transform and then rush over. No, cool.
Nah, that's fine. That's fine.
That's fine.
We got bigger things to worry about. This is a new Zen Tithla, okay? This is new.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
This
I'm
is
looking-
trauma Tithla.
Yeah, I was going to say.
Hey.
Anything else on your turn, Blood?
Were they both hits?
Both hits.
So 18.
Yeah.
That was 18 total, was it?
18 just for the crit. So that was a total of 20, 29 plus another 6, 35. 45 points of damage total for both attacks because of the crit.
Fuck yeah. I don't think. Wait, can I still do bonus actions and shit? I don't know.
You still got bonus
Crazy.
actions.
I don't think
For
I
now.
can do anything.
What, pop a rage? Would that be the bonus?
That was the range.
Yeah,
True.
probably. Yeah, it was the
good point.
bonus. Yep, so I'm good.
Tithla, it's your go next.
Having recognized that the Hunter's Mark, we're not confident on where that's sitting at. We're just going to make sure we redirect it onto this creature before us. Not trying to
Perfect.
follow through and grasp onto a string that may not be there. And then
I better make some
Tithla
wisdom
always
saves.
does
Better
This
make some
is the
wisdom
new-
saves for,
new Tithla, all right?
Ashes.
This is shit's happened. She's seen some stuff. Okay. Mm-hmm. She's a
Jonor.
victim.
21 is one of the wisdom saves. Does that break Tasha's? Yeah, cool.
Yes.
I love that Tiff was the victim, but just murdered how many children?
See, now you bring it up again.
I mean, to be fair, how many times did you bring up that Gruno fell asleep on watch? I feel like Raph's earned at least 40
Jacob,
sessions.
none. Tithla.
That's true. That's true. Tithla, you watch as the laughter ceases under the onslaught of Blood's attacks. The laughter begins to cut out from Kiril. From
Lovely.
Sergei.
Tithla's not enjoying the laughter anyway. This isn't a fun time. It's not time for laughter or joyous occasions. She's just going to take 2 quick shots, bang, bang, with her bow. And now we get to play the fun game of which, or if it hits, does 22 hit?
22 definitely hits.
Right. Which damage get counted?
I believe technically you would have disadvantage on this because he is currently prone.
Yeah, sods, mate.
No, that's fine. No need. How does a 28 go? It's the
Still hits, so
second
you're good to
one.
go. You're good to go.
Okay, cool.
So in terms of damage, that's going to be 10 points of piercing plus 6 points of cold damage, so 16 points of damage total.
Plus
And then
1
did you-
point of Hunter's Mark.
Fantastic.
Uh,
Boom, boom, boom.
and we'll hit that with, again, new Tithla. We will use our weapon mastery, slow. So its speed is reduced by 10 feet till the start of my next turn.
Perfect.
Just something.
That's good to know. It means you're staying prone, so that's excellent. If you reduce
There you
your speed
go.
to 0, it means you can't stand up. So that's brilliant, Tithla. That's fantastic.
We're just that good. There we go. That's our first roll for disadvantage. And yep, great. So it's a 13 or a nat 20 for the disadvantage. So 13. Does 13 hit?
13 does not hit, unfortunately.
Okay. Well, there you go. That's the end of Tithla's turn.
That's so many 20s kicking around.
It's a lot of 20s tonight. Holy shit. Kiril is not able to stand up. Sergei puppeting is unable to make him stand because his speed is 0. You watch as instead a blast of shadow-like energy bursts from the corpse. I need Blood, Styx, Axel, and Killian. Could you all please make me...
Do I see the twisting of the weave being formed in front of this, above this corpse? By
Yes,
any
you
chance?
do. Yes, you do.
All right.
Counter
Does it
spell.
happen to be a spell?
Yes, it
'Cause
does.
Some gold daggers are going to go stab that bad boy right there. 3rd level. That's a remove curse. Wrong one.
It's okay. That's all good. That's all good.
Removing him as the curse. Why not?
Alrighty,
Yeah,
so
third level.
so this is higher than 3rd level. Let me just quickly pull up and counter spell. Could you please? Oh, it doesn't matter anymore. Now it's always a con save. Then you counter spell. You attempt to interrupt a creature in the process of casting a spell. Creature makes a con saving throw. On a failed save, the spell dissipates with no effect, and the action, bonus action, reaction is wasted. Okay, I will make a Constitution save. To be fair, that does actually balance a bit better with counter spell. Not gonna lie. The fact that it's always a con save.
17.
I'll make a con save. Oh, come on, fail. Nope, that is a pass. That is a 19. Oh shit, it's only just a pass though. 17's the DC. Okay. As you go to counterspell Jonor, the magic just is consumed by this shadow that pulses down from the tendrils above. Blood, you watch as those little threads of weave connecting Sergei, you know, to this puppet that he's working. You watch as the magic pulses down and then explodes from the corpse. So
It goes to explode from the corpse, and I watch as Jonor's counterspell fails. I will then use my own counterspell.
I'll make a con save. Let's make another one. Oh, 17. What's your DC?
17.
Oh no!
Oh,
I'm so sorry. Fuck, that was so clutch, boys. Unfortunately, I need all of you to please make me. So Styx, Blood, Axel, and Killian, as you were within the range of this, I need all of you to please make me a strength saving throw.
Heroic inspiration only is for my rerolls, not making someone else reroll. Hey,
What was that, sorry?
I've got 1 inspiration. That's for rerolling my dice. Not okay. Yeah.
Yeah,
I
sorry.
also want to say I have Aura of Protection, which means anyone friendly within 10 feet of me gets a +2 bonus to all saving
There it
throws.
is.
Yes, you do.
I remembered it exists.
Question, Styx. Are you friendly towards Killian?
Yeah, good question. Good question.
No.
Oh! I
No,
thought
that's
that answer was a given, but yeah.
Does Blood get to use his stat block for this, or the werewolf stat block?
You're currently using the werewolf's stat block for this Blood.
Yep.
So that is a +2 to the con save.
And what was it? A con save?
Was it a con or strength?
Oh, sorry, strength save. Sorry, strength save, which is +3 to the strength save.
Oh man, that is. I wish I was Blood at this point.
Sorry.
That's okay. That's
Let me
a.
check down.
It's a 16. It didn't roll through, but it's a 16.
16 is a pass.
+2.
+2 takes up to
Yay.
18, so that is a pass. 27 for Axel, so 29 total. You're so sweet. Killian, 17 up to 19. That is also a pass. Styx.
Oh no, I'm not friendly, remember?
Oh, right. 17 is still a pass. Styx, 11 +2. Do you get your aura? You do get your aura, don't you? Do you get your own aura?
It says +2 on saves up in the saving throw section, but I would have thought they would add it automatically then when I'm rolling, so I don't know.
It might not do because it's D&D Beyond and Hasbro are firing everyone who does anything good at Wizards of the Coast. So hard to say.
I
Have
can't
we tried
imagine
to
if
think
13's a
about
pass.
it from their perspective, though.
Yeah.
Like, they're just trying to save some money.
They're just trying to
really.
make as much money as possible. Yeah. That's
Yeah,
right.
that's what I
You're
said.
right.
It's
Yeah.
a hard economy. They're just trying to, limit money out.
Yeah, because obviously the tariffs have really hit a digital company hard. Yeah, so I've got our zone around the corpse that is currently bursting with these tendrils of darkness. Styx, even with a +2. I think we'll give you a +2. Even that is unfortunately still a fail. That only takes you up to a 13. Everyone who passed, you are going to take... So everyone who passed is going to take 11 points of damage. Those who failed take 22 points of necrotic damage. If you failed the save, you are also restrained, which means your speed is 0. Attacks against you have advantage. Your attacks have disadvantaged. and you have disadvantage on dexterity saving throws right now as you are currently restrained, which is just Styx, I think. So 11 for those who passed, 22 for Styx, sorry. And you are restrained. The area in here has become difficult terrain. You have to use double your movement speed to move through this area as the shadows begin leaping around the tentacles. These, like, the shadows are forming these tentacles and swiping at you, breaking into you. That is Sergei/Kiril's go. Axel, it is your go next.
My first question is, being in this zone, do I feel like it has lingering or ongoing effects?
Yes, you don't want to be in here. You do not want to be finishing your turns in here. Yes.
Okay. And who is... It's dark, so I can't see, correct?
You can see. It's not dark. There are shadows and these tendrils of darkness swinging around, but you can still see in here. It's not. You're not blinded.
I'm trying to work out who of my allies has just taken the most dangerous...
Oh, you can see most of this was focused on Styx, for sure.
Okay.
Yeah. Which kind of makes sense as well, actually, in the context of the conversation.
I think what I'm going to do is...
leave him to his fate, grab a waffle.
Yeah. Thinking of just ducking out in the semi-darkness. No, I think that I want to move him using bait and switch, since he doesn't have the ability to move himself. But to do so, I would have to move myself into a space that would help him.
So keep in mind that Kiril/Sergei is still prone because of Tash's hideous laughter and his movement speed being reduced to 0 by Tithla's longbow attack and longbow weapon mastery. He's currently lying down, which means he has disadvantage to attack you if you were to try and duck out and move around. And if he was to use his opportunity attack for that.
Just because it only reduced your speed by 10.
Oh, okay, then he's standing up. Sorry, I thought you were just 0, and I was like, wow, that's amazing. He's locked down. Sorry. In that case, then he is standing up as he does this, yeah. Sorry, never mind.
Okay.
Disregard. He has been Hunter's Mark, so I'll drop down a Hunter's Mark symbol.
I think I'm going to make my attacks as normal, because I'm looking at my maneuvers, and bait and switch isn't part of an attack action or anything else. It just happens by the look of it. It doesn't even say the bonus action or anything. So I'm guessing I can just do that at the end of my turn. So I may as well put some trident into his guts and then come back for hopefully some heroism. So I'm gonna start with 2 attacks of the flame tongue trident as I bring it up under and through him. Okay, that's garbage. I'm gonna... The first attack misses, I'm guessing.
11, yes, 11. Absolutely does. Sorry.
Yeah. I am not gonna waste my last maneuver to help that. I'll make a second strike, and that's a 19. All right. Does that?
Yeah. Just uses the, as long as you're paying the maneuver dice. I was just checking it for you. Yeah, there's no, it's not like an action or a bonus action. As long as you're within 5 feet of creature on your turn, you can spend the superiority dice to use the bait and switch.
Okay, so the damage for the second strike is
19 hits. Yes.
12. No.
Yes, 12
Yep.
plus 6 for the flame damage.
Plus 6 for the flame.
Total is 18.
Yep. So, and I will topple him, attempt to topple him with that second strike as well as part of the
strength save for topple, I believe.
Con save.
Con save for topple, even better. That's going to be an 18.
Okay. I will shield bash him in the face for free using Shield Master. So that is a strength save.
Fantastic. I'll make a strength save. That is going to be a 22.
My gosh. Okay. That's nearly everything I can do, and my last part of my turn will be attempting to move like here, and on my way out basically grabbing Styx with all my strength and bait and switching him to try and get him out. Is there a way I can do this? Does that seem like something I can do?
Yeah, you can move away. It looks like in this moment, Sergei is not taking the opportunity attacks. You're able to move out of range.
Okay.
As you get to this
roll
position, see if you get a bonus to AC. Styx, in this moment, you can feel Axel place a hand on your back, and Axel, we haven't really talked about what your bait and switch kind of looks like. Is it almost like you kind of like duck underneath the person's legs, pushing them back as you like run between their legs, chuck them over your shoulder and take their place and go, ha! Surprise! How does it kind of work? Or is it more magical than that?
I feel like it's a mixture of dance and like shifting their weight with them to kind of guide them in a way. So it would be like maybe as he runs through, he runs across the back of Styx's knee, kind of bending the knee, and then grabs, as he comes through, grabs the front of his hip and twists him and like kind of spins him out.
Nice. Styx, if you are willing, you are moved back and given a bonus to armor class. You suffer no opportunity attack. There is no opportunity attack against you.
Great. I definitely accept that.
Styx,
you have a +1 to AC as well until the start of my next turn.
It could have been potentially 8 plus your armor class. So unfortunate.
I'll take it.
As you are ending your turn within the zone, Axel, could you please make me another strength saving throw?
Yep. Beautiful.
Oh, shit. 25 is good. 25. You wanted this one to be halved.
Strong.
That's only going to be 9 points of damage for you, Axel.
Okay.
And that's necrotic damage, yeah?
Necrotic damage, yes.
Cool.
Alrighty. Killian, me boy.
Axel's quite hurt.
Yeah. Killian, me boy.
So, few questions. First of all, I've just reread my Pact of the Blade feature and found something really cool.
Yes.
I can change the damage type, which is cool.
Yes.
Oh, hell yeah.
Yes. So I'm going to be doing that when I attack. I've been doing normal weapon damage, but I can change it to either necrotic, psychic, or radiant.
Yes.
So, hey. Second
because you're
question.
celestial, I think you get the radiance. Otherwise, it's normally psychic or necrotic, so you get an extra type, I believe, because you're celestial warlock. Probably. Or is it? Maybe it's always that.
Second question: are there any visible holes in this corpse?
Yes.
Leading inside of this corpse.
Oh yeah. Yeah. Styx has made some. Tithla's made some. Yeah. Yes, there are visible holes. Where Styx cut the body in half, the flesh hasn't fully sealed that together. Killian, you yourself made a pretty spectacular hole in this corpse that, again, like the flesh is mostly sealed up, but you can still see the hollow, sunken cheeks of rotted flesh where it hasn't fully been able to regenerate. Yeah, there's holes. Yeah.
Awesome. Last question. This thing is still technically a werewolf.
Yeah, what, sorry?
I know. The body is still technically a werewolf, isn't it?
Yes, it is. Corpse is the werewolf corpse, yes.
Just going to sort of shake off a little bit. I'm getting really sick of this. I mean, why do we keep getting accosted by the lesser von Zarevich? And, if you are all that powerful, why don't you just leave here and let Strahd sort of, that's the ultimate punishment because he's going to starve. If everybody dies here, then he's got no blood source and he'll slowly die. If you just leave, you can go have your way in other places. You know what? I'm really sick of you now, and I'm going to shove my hand into his gut, into his body.
Okay.
And then because my weapon is silvered,
yes,
I'd like to summon my weapon inside of his body.
Okay. So the way this is going to work is you are going to be making an unarmed attack to try and get past his defenses and get your hand inside his body, and then summon your weapon. For sure.
Yes. Let's hope this works.
That's crazy.
I love it.
Would you allow me to use my charisma for my unarmed strike because it's pack weapon. My fist is a pack weapon.
It's not though, but it's okay. Hang on, let's think this through. Rules as written, absolutely not, because otherwise then everyone just multi-class monk and warlock, and it's not a great precedent to set. However, in this moment, rule of cool: if you want to summon the hilt of the blade, and then as you punch forwards, the blade is forming at the same time inside, I would say that does still count, and you could use it as if it were a weapon attack. So you can make it as a normal weapon attack using your normal packed weapon.
All other players vote aye for precedent set. Aye.
No,
Aye.
there's no voting. This isn't a democracy. Much like America, this is no longer a democracy. Sorry, what was that, Josh? I was too busy just saying contentious shit.
I'm doing it as part of summoning the weapon.
Yes. Perfect.
25.
Oh, that hits. Yeah. We're not going to take the damage as that. What we're going to do instead is I'm going to roll a con save, and we might be adding a bit of a plus to that.
And it's the greatsword that I'm summoning, but I've sort of mulled it over in my mind as I've been summoning it. Instead of doing the normal greatsword that I summon, it's a Buster sword over the top anime-esque size sword that I'm summoning in his body.
Outstanding. And that probably does match the roll I got for the con save, which is a natural 1. Killian, as you can see that Sergei's attention was elsewhere. Focused on Axel, focused on Styx. We're doing all sorts of fancy footwork. Styx having taken a big chunk of damage. Axel suddenly getting him out of the way. You can see that Sergei in control of Kiril is not a fan of that. And as he turns to focus on that, you see the arrows in the back, the holes that Tithla carved into him. They haven't been healed. They were made to Kiril before Sergei took control. And Sergei hasn't bothered to heal those. You just, as you summon a tiny little crossguard and dagger, slam it into his body, and then transform it into the Buster Sword. As you finish the summoning of your weapon, you watch as the head just explodes open from the silver. Could you please roll me an additional 2d8?
Oy.
Whoa.
Not like Von Zara, bitch.
I'm almost tempted to give a free vicious mockery for that. Let me roll a con save to see if that spell stays up. Oh, fuck, it's gone. Spell's gone.
I'm hoping that the silvered part damages the body, but I'd like to change the weapon damage type to psychic
Radiant.
to hurt Sergei
Psychic.
himself.
Nice. Okay, fantastic. So that's 16 psychic damage, plus an additional 11 points of damage. Killian, as you summon this weapon, you can't see those tiny threads of weave that Sergei is using to control this puppet, but Blood can. As the enormous sword spears through the center of the body, Blood, you watch as two of those threads severed in a moment, the strands almost breaking under tension, the weave dissipating and turning into dust. You hear a howl of pain. You think you've done some damage with that one, Killian.
And then my second attack is to rip the blade out of him.
Yeah, fantastic. Just do it as a normal attack.
Cool. Where it is? There it is. Yeah. 20.
20 and 12 psychic. Or radiant. What would you like?
I'm going for psychic because I want to attack.
Sergei.
I'm hoping that the natural silver of the weapon is dissolving the body because it's not alive, so I don't really care about it. But I want the psychic damage to be actually hurting Sergei.
Oh. As you pull the blade free, you watch as the half of... Because you've split the skull in half, still in this process of transforming into a hybrid form, you watch as the one half of the skull that has been split falls limp and hangs down. The other half, still animated. You can see half the tongue moving inside the throat. Bits of flesh and musculature trying to turn and move as the head turns towards you. And it's literally half face. As it looks at you, the tongue sort of lolling, falling out the side and flapping uselessly in the air.
I'm going to strip your skin off, Killian, and wear you as a fucking coat.
You get the sense...
You wouldn't be the first creature that's attempted that.
You get the sense you've grabbed his attention at this moment. Anything else on your turn, Killian?
Those tendrils have disappeared now, haven't they?
The black, yes. The spell, he failed his con save to keep that spell up, unfortunately. The psychic damage has broken his concentration.
Rules is writ, there's nothing else I can do, but if possible, I'd like to have my hand. So I've got the Buster Sword in one hand, and then I've just got my hand held on to like the pants of the werewolf. So if he tries to move away, I can try and pull him back. That'll be like my opportunity attack. I'll pull him back and try to stab into him again, sort of thing.
Sure. At the end of the round, Jonor, you know how you said you looked back, coast was clear, no werewolves coming.
Yeah, we've been very quiet, so it makes sense.
That perception was only a 6. Unfortunately, that assessment was not correct. As you look down the corridor, you can see the werewolves in hybrid form sprinting through the cave system towards you. However, there are less than there were before, and what's more, some of them look to have been damaged. You can hear a cry coming from the cave entrance, a voice calling out. Zuleika's voice.
If you're alive, I am trying to hold them off. There are 3 more who have come through.
We're going, okay, we'll do it.
Jonor, as the 3 wolves rush in, unfortunately they have used their action dash to get this far. As they rush up and into the room, one of them's going to rush up towards you, growling and snarling. One of them's going to move... Oh, technically this would trigger your opportunity attack as it moves past you down towards the body of Kiril. Would you like to use your opportunity attack?
Reaction.
Yeah.
No, I used it on
you've used counterspell. Of course you have. And the other one's going to rush down as well, getting a little bit closer as they begin to rush down towards the rest of the party. Unfortunately, they have no more movement left. Their initiative... Yep.
What do they look like when they see me?
When they... yeah. Good point. Let's roll, I guess, an insight check? But they're in werewolf form. I'm going to give them disadvantage on this because they're currently looking around hungrily for enemies that are not werewolves. Blood, they pay you no heed. Their focus is on Killian, Axel, Styx, those who are attacking Kiril, and in their eyes, you are a member of the pack. They have not looked closely enough to make an assessment about you yet.
Okay.
And am I able to say anything if I see them?
For sure. As they rush up, you can say whatever you want. Talking's a free action.
This thing is not your pack leader. This is an undead husk. That one there is the one that killed it. This is your new pack leader. Point to blood.
You watch as the animated corpse of Kiril, puppeted by Sergei, looks towards you and laughs.
I already told them who's in charge, Killian. Nice try. Kill them.
What, the
Kill
lesser
them
ones
all.
are a bit. I don't think they're going to listen to the lesser. Sergei the Lesser, that's your new name.
Oh, wow.
Killian, you get the sense that these words, while funny, carry consequences for you. You are not yet to experience.
Oh, I'm being 100% serious when I say this.
Oh, yeah.
Wow.
Styx, we are back at the top of the round. The werewolves have had their initiative rolled as they've entered. They are going to be going after you. It is your turn.
Am I still locked up? Are my joints all seized?
No, as soon as the tentacles and the darkness is moved, you are completely fine. As soon as the spell ends and fails.
Cool. I am, what's that, 5, 10, 15. I'm coming around here because I don't want my back to the werewolves.
Oh, my. So where are you
and
coming
I'm-
on his back? Oh, right, yeah, I see.
Yeah, wherever I can.
Yeah. There's plenty of holes in it. Killian's already got his whole fist in there.
I mean, that's the goal, right?
And unleashed his blade inside as well.
Maybe I should unleash inside too.
He sprung a fair chunk of his load too, actually. I mean, that was quite a lot of magical energy that he poured into there.
I might.
He took
I
a good
might.
fist in. I think he needs another one.
Yeah,
Yeah.
well, I'm going to.
There's 2 holes. You could fill them both. Yeah.
Double
Could I?
fisting.
Yeah.
I'm going to dump my final load.
If you're joining us, right now, and you laughed at any of that, guess what? You're a great person, and you also need to now subscribe.
Yeah.
I'm using my final branding smite.
Hey.
4 and a 3, and I am gonna penetrate this motherfucker.
Fantastic.
Ooh.
And I can guarantee Styx is not using protection right now. Never mind. Unfortunately, Styx with an 8. Look, performance issues. 1 in 5.
Right.
It happens sometimes.
Yeah,
He missed the hole. You know, he needs a couple of tries to get it right.
that's right. So I'm going to try
Some sort of content
that
warning on this, aren't I?
again. Do I?
Yeah.
I get a second attack.
You
That's
do get a
not
second attack.
used as a bonus action, right? That's just a second straight up attack.
Yep, that's right. And you can still use your branding smite on this too, because you didn't hit with the first attack.
Great. I'm going to do that. It was
we've got
not
the name of the episode.
Holy shit.
We've got the name of the episode. Oh, 11. It's a shame, Styx. As you empower your sword with radiant energy and go and try and thrust into him, you watch as the corpse just steps to the left, steps to the right, moving again very, very quickly. Unfortunately, you can't quite get your shaft in there.
Okay, so be it. And that's my bonus action and all. Yeah, I'm just going to stand there and say, Sergei the Lesser.
Solus, Styx, the Lesser.
Wow, that was a terrible comeback. You need to really work on it. Maybe you could
I'll
ask
come
your
on
older
your
brother
back in a
to-
minute, bitch.
Alrighty. Anything else on your
Is
turn,
that
Styx?
canon? That's canon.
That's
What
not
a weird thing for him to say.
I know, right?
Maybe you can ask your older brother for some joke tips,
Anything else on your
being
turn,
as
Styx?
he is one.
Hey!
Hey, got him.
I am no. I've
Hear from
run
Jonor as
out
well.
of things
What the
to
fuck? We have been working together on this. What the fuck, Killian? I thought you were my friend. Werewolves are going to rush in and attack Axel, Killian, and Jonor. Axel, that is going to be starting off with a bite and a scratch. 22 to hit for the bite, but 11 for the scratch.
First will hit.
That will be 7 points of piercing damage, and as you have already passed your Constitution saving throw for the werewolf's bite, there are no further effects for you. Jonor, that is going to be for the bite. That is a natural 1. 22 for the scratch.
Yeah, that'll hit.
That is going to be... Hey, at least we got some good damage on that one. That's going to be 12 points of slashing damage on the scratch. And
Yep.
Killian, you are up last. That is going to be for the bite. 22 to hit and 19 to hit. So bite 22, scratch 19.
I will summon I will summon my shield that I've had for quite a while now to block the 19, but the 22 will still go through.
No drums at all. That will be for the bite. That is going to be 16 points of piercing damage. And I believe you've also
15
passed.
points of cold damage as my Armor of Agathis,
Which is still up.
breaks.
Yeah. How do you want to do this? That is enough to kill this. These are pretty hurt.
As it bites into me, and the Armor of Agathis just sort of explodes, it freezes the entire, like the jaw, the head, and everything. And then as the armor explodes, so does the head, and then the rest of the corpse just lands on the floor.
Fantastic. Jonor, you are up next. A hungry, slavering werewolf is right on top of you.
It slashed over my chest, and I sort of duck down, and this giant, big old fist comes past and gives it a big old punch in the face with a major telekinesis push.
Strength saving
pushing that
throw.
one. Yes, please.
Oh, it's a 10.
Lovely,
Where would you
just
like
right
your
away.
hand to beat the werewolf off to?
Oh, wrist away from everyone else, just out of sight.
Yeah, you don't want to be doing that with too many people
you gotta
around.
do it out of sight.
Yeah. 10
See
feet
no
back,
evil, see no evil. 5 foot.
5 foot back. As you
5
beat the werewolf off, where would you like to head? Are you running away?
I'm gonna then get my flame in hand, conjure up a little bit of a fire bolt, and launch it, send it.
I managed to keep myself together for all of that, but flaming hand.
Got my flaming
And it's going to erupt inside
it?
that werewolf over there.
Okay.
Let's see how we go.
Wow. What a comeback, guys.
Fireball.
Oh man, 24 is definitely gonna hit.
24.
10 points of fire damage. Nice, Jonor. I mean, his ring is burning right now as you explode the flames inside. Is there anything else you'd like to do on the insert?
Oh, brave Sir Robin runs away.
Yeah, that's fair.
That's it.
Yep, fantastic. Blood. It is your turn.
Can Blood is still in his werewolf form.
Yes, you are.
Is he able to wrest control and switch back to Axel? Sorry, not to Axel. Can't turn it to Axel. That'd be a bit weird. Can you
He's
turn
in
back
blood
into
form.
Blood?
Yes.
Yeah.
Could you please make me a Constitution saving throw to try and overcome the effects of this transformation?
Yeah, he's trying to gain control. Yeah. Constitution?
Constitution, please.
When I roll that with Blood stat block?
Yes, with blood stat.
Absolutely. Oh, fantastic. That's good news. Come on, dice. Oh, that's not good. That's an 11.
The rage and fury of Lycagon is not so easily quenched, Blood.
Not this time. That's fine.
But in that rage and fury, there is a sense of relief from the wolf spirit as more of the werewolves rush forwards, whereas you feel the sense of fear and I guess like maybe not fear, but maybe this sense of like trepidation, seeing more enemies appear.
Yeah.
For the wolf spirit, these aren't enemies. And as you feel that connection and fail to break out of this bond, there's not a mental link with the other werewolves, but there's something there, a connection with them through this wolf-like spirit, through Lycagon.
Cool. I mean, good for Lycagon. I'm glad he's happy.
She does seem
in that
to be
case,
happy.
I mean, I'm pretty latched on to old Sergei here, so I think I'm just gonna unleash on him as well.
Fantastic.
Probably gonna be a bite and a scratch. Can you roll those for me?
Yes, 100%.
Give it to him doggy style.
Yep.
Wow. You've been waiting for that one for a while, haven't you?
Incredible.
Yeah.
Okay. You have advantage on these because of pack tactics. That's a 23 for the first attack, 24 for the second. They're both obviously going to hit. 14 points of piercing damage for the bite, 7 points for the scratch. As you tear into this figure blood, you rip off another.
The rage bonus?
Oh yeah, sorry, plus an additional 6 for the rage on each attack. Plus an additional 3 on each attack, so 6 total damage. Blood. That's exactly lethal. How would you like to do this? That is exactly lethal.
As all of this is happening, and Blood, kind of liking on at this point, as all this is happening, I just kind of want to slowly rending this creature apart, and just as Lycagon, aka Blood, is about to go down and finish this creature off, he just sort of looks at the Sergei's corpse and goes, "Your wolves no longer belong to you. They are free, and I am coming for you next." And I will just bite the whatever remnants of the head is there and just rip it clean from the corpse.
As you crush the head between your lupine jaws, you watch as the last threads of that magic sever and fade from above the corpse, breaking away into nothingness as the corpse falls limp beneath you. You watch as the wolves all freeze, paused, the werewolves turning towards you as you stand above the body of Kiril. And as you drop the bloody mess that was once the head to your feet, You feel a snarl, a growl deep within you bubble to the surface, and you watch as the wolves slowly lower down, putting their heads and chests on the floor before slinking back a little bit, giving you room and space, eyeing the rest of the party and occasionally growling at them, but for the moment, submissive to you, Blood.
Hell yeah.
With that, I'm going to take us out of initiative and back to the cameras. As this happens, Blood, you can feel the anger from that spirit begin to rise again. It was sated for the moment. Sergei had been torn apart. It felt good to crush that meat and bone between your teeth, to tear and rip. But it was not enough. Sergei's still out there. And in that moment, you can feel the spirit's hunger for more. But your tentative pact, your tentative alliance is fragile. You know you could break it right here, right now. Could split from the wolf. There might be some lingering effects, but overall you would be left unchanged. Or you could bind yourself tighter. That bite on your shoulder hasn't fully infected you, but as long as you keep that connection to Lycagon, you know that there will be more power, but more consequences for you as well, potentially.
Interesting. Do I have to make a decision right now?
Not right this second. No, you can have a bit of a think about it, for sure.
Cool. Awesome.
There you go. A moment later, as the wolves bow before you, is there anything you guys will be doing first really quickly? Otherwise, I'll have Zuleika rush in. Yeah.
Oh!
The will like and drag the body and start to put it on her fire.
As soon as you drag the body over, there's a few growls from the nearby werewolves. Tithla, as you grab onto Kiril's corpse, Blood just looks at them and you watch as they back off, slinking down a little bit, acting submissive as you drag the body over and chuck it onto the fire. The flame immediately flares up, the corpse burning away very quickly. Whatever had been done to it with Sergei's magic, it does seem to be much more flammable now that he's gone. Much more flammable.
I would like to help with dragging the body over, give little Tithla an extra hand, and also just do, I don't know, I'm assuming it's going to be some sort of an arcana check on the corpse to see if there's any residual anything that's going to give us any additional clues for Sergei at all. Anything that's, you know, explaining how he's puppeting these guys or anything helpful.
Do you want to do an arcana or I'm going to say arcana or investigation? Or perception. I'd allow perception as well.
I'll go in arcana. Oh, terrible again.
I think I would definitely help with this one. That's right down Jonor's alley. As you're checking over the body, looking for the telltale signs of possession, I'm helping look for the sigils or the typical markings of the body.
Cool. Okay, giving me advantage, or are you rolling on your own?
Yeah, get advantage.
18 Styx. There's not much residual magic left on this corpse, just those faint threads that you can't see but you can feel. As you run your hands over the body, lifting it up to drag it over towards the flame, you can feel the remnants of this necrotic magic that has raised this corpse, that has allowed Sergei to puppet it. And you can feel the pull of them. In that moment, as you pluck at the strands of weave, you can feel that it comes from the south. What's more, you've felt those strands before. The words that Sergei spoke, taunting you, saying that your current form was partly his interference. That magic does feel familiar. You remember feeling similar magic tearing your soul apart inside the Sun Sword as it was reforged, preventing your mind from splintering completely, from your soul from being destroyed. To melt down a sentient magic item is to destroy it. But this necrotic magic, you've felt it before, and in that flash you remember, it was used to stop that happening. You felt it.
Okay.
What's more, as you throw the body onto the pile, both you and Tithla watch as the body begins to burn. The belt, which is just a thin hempen rope, snaps as soon as it touches the heat of the flame. A little pouch dropping from the body's side and crashing onto the floor in front of you and Tithla.
You can have that.
Thanks, I guess.
Well, what have you got there, Tithla?
Just, it's just the body. I'm just trying to burn it. Hey, you can have
No,
whatever you want.
I mean that little pouch that fell out.
Yeah.
Let's have a look at this thing.
She grabs it and throws it. It's fine. I didn't want it.
Surprisingly heavy, Tithla, as you pick it up, much heavier than it should be. As you chuck it over to Jonor. Jonor, yeah, as you
So,
catch
like,
it.
picks it up, grabs a second hand on it,
Yeah.
to then try and throw it.
Yeah, as you chuck it over to Jonor. Jonor, you grab it, pull it open to look inside. Yeah, you can see that it is full of coins. Many different coins. There's 250 gold pieces in here, 900 silver, and about 500 copper pieces.
Oh.
So I'll chuck it in the chat.
250.
I'll chuck it in the chat so you got it all. Here you go. So 500 copper, 900 silver, 200 gold pieces. There you go.
Dang.
There's also 7 gemstones worth 100 gold pieces.
Oh, lovely.
Oh.
I'm going to lean up against the cage that I'm right next to, and I'm just
Actually,
gonna...
I'll. Oh, sorry.
Sorry, no, you go.
No, you go.
I'm just going to lean up against the cage that I'm on, sort of slumped down to the floor. I've got blood pouring out of my mouth, out of my eyes, out of my nose, out of my ears. I've got cuts and everything everywhere. I'm not looking good, and I'm just going to go, right, so I'm still good to go. Is there another big bad that we want to piss off right now and start another fight? Because I'm good to go if everybody else is.
It's at this moment you watch as Zuleika stalks in her hybrid form. As she looks at the carnage, sees the body burning on the fire, you watch as she growls.
No, he was mine to kill. Checking on my own voice there.
You watch as she pauses, slowly transforms back. And yours going to lose my voice tonight at some point. Slowly transforms back into this sort of like much more female form, the long dark hair braided back. You can see she's furious, but holding it back as she gazes across at the body burning on the pyre, and then looks towards you, Blood, as you kind of stand there in your hybrid form, standing above the other werewolves. She pauses and looks.
Who are you? I do not recognize you, Wolfkin.
I am Blood.
The orc. You have been blessed by Mother Night, the Nightslayer herself.
Yes. She likes me.
Well, that makes this a lot easier then.
As she turns around towards the rest of the werewolves who have slowly begun to sort of back away from her.
Kiril is dead. The Nightslayer herself assisted in destroying him. You see, now he was wrong. His partnership with Sergei, his partnership with Strahd, it is all wrong. We must choose our own way. The old ways once again. We serve no master but the Nightslayer herself. Who is with me?
A howl begins to pick up through the corridors. A mournful howl. Many have lost their lives this day, but an agreement nonetheless. As Zuleika turns back towards the rest of you, Blood, have you made a decision about what you want to do? Not yet.
I think maybe like internally, like Blood is probably like he can see the value of Lycagon, right? But I think as he turns internally, kind of trying to commune or sort of speak with Lycagon, Blood sort of says, I guess, in his mind, Lycagon, are you trapped here as well? Trapped in this place?
Sorrow, Blood. Confirmation and sorrow you feel reflected back.
What if Blood could free you? Bring you back?
Excitement. Anticipation. And still that rage underneath the surface.
If we defeat Sergei, that is what Blood wants. Blood wishes to return home, to rid this place of evil. I do not think, Blood does not think you are evil, per se. I wish for you to be free. Blood wish for you to be free, and your pack. Would you have a place upon my world tree? And I kind of place my hand against the tree tattoo. We can be as one. I do not wish to tame you. Blood does not want that. We are equal then.
Acceptance. But more importantly, when you said you want to kill Sergei, emphatic excitement, burning rage. Oh yes, it wishes for that. It will agree to anything if you promise it that.
Cool.
Is it like the mental image of a dog just doing the spins?
But like violent, yeah.
Wagging his tail.
Yeah.
Like a real god.
Yeah.
Cool. Well, in that case, Blood will accept Lycagon. And in that moment, I want to make it like, Blood's got this very tree-orientated sort of motif happening, and then I want it to be like there's a symbol, almost like the wolf is kind of like hibernating or sleeping amongst the roots of the world tree, almost.
Fantastic. Yeah, actually,
very Fenrir and Yggdrasil if we're going Norse, right?
In the original tattoo, there are two wolves as part of the design of the tattoo.
Yep.
So this is very appropriate. As the tattoo shifts and changes, you transform back into your half-orc form, Blood. You're not sure if that transformation will trigger again in the same way that it has previously. That connection as the wolf spirit steps from you and vanishes. But you have taken on part of that lichen transformation now.
Cool.
As you watch as the tattoo shifts and changes around the base of the tree, Zuleika sort of eyeing you as she watching that grey, dark furred wolf spirit disappear from your form as you transform back into Blood again. Looking at the world tree on your chest, she looks down at the burning form of Kiril. She walks over and spits on the body. Spit evaporating in a second with a hiss as the fire catches it and destroys it utterly, before she turns back to the rest of you. I saw the front entrance. What had happened to the children? You were unable to save them, I take it?
It was a treachery.
Tithla walks out the other doorway, the other entrance.
She nods as she watches Tithla basically take off immediately. So he knew that you were coming. It is unfortunate. I thought that we had the element of surprise here. It seems this was a trap all along. I'm sorry. If I had known, I would have warned you in advance. I did not know.
It was
You
your...
can't really. You go on.
Oh. Blood was going to say it was your duty, it was your intention to return to Mount Baratok with the pack. Am I right?
Yes, we will be leaving here at once. I'll be taking whoever is left. We shall depart. We will take our chances with the Mad Mage. There will be nothing further the werewolves aid Strahd or Sergei. We are not to be pawns to be pushed around a playing board by them any longer.
It is the Night Mother's will that Sergei is destroyed. We have
Is it?
already. Mhm.
Then I will need to meditate. Commune with the Night Watcher, with the Nightslayer. See what she says. Maybe that we are meant to aid you in this fight against Sergei. I will not lie. My blood calls for his death also. For what he did to my mate Emil. What he has done to our pack. Crimes he has committed against my people are to be paid for in blood.
Blood agrees.
Tithla, where have you taken off to?
Just out that top, like little ton away, just to leave the most direct route without walking past.
Yeah.
Probably is able to still hear. Would go to head down, and then remember what's down that way, and then maybe just go right and look up that way and just
Yeah.
wander around here a little bit.
As you begin to make your way round into that rightmost corridor, for a moment, Tithla, the curtain that's hanging over the doorway leading up towards these stairs above, for a moment you can see something move and twitch behind the curtain, almost cowering underneath the fabric. And as you move a bit closer, you can see a young wolf licking a wound on its paw, on its leg. Large gash. Looks to have been done by claw or tooth. Hiding behind the section of fabric. And as you step a bit closer, you watch as it locks eyes with you and growls, a bit of a warning growl, before looking down at its lame paw. Its front right leg.
No. What did that? Was it someone like me? Or someone like you?
Could you make me an animal handling check, please, Tithla?
Would love to. That's that one with the plus 10. 23.
23. You watch as the wolf seems to cower for a moment, and then with a whine begins to skulk towards you, holding up the paw for you to take a closer look at.
Alright, up here. Just gets out her bandages and whatnot and starts to strap it up, has a look at it, see what kind of damage it is, but then straps it up.
It's definitely done with a claw, Tithla. The edges are too jagged, it's too rough to have been done with a blade or a knife.
Were they up that way, or was it out this way?
You watch as the wolf initially looks up and then turns and looks towards the doorway you've just come from. And then looks down at the body of the dead werewolf on the floor not too far away.
Okay, so it was that one. Alright, well, you're okay now. Someone else is in charge. You can go back to your bed and be safe. You guys are going to leave here.
You watch as the wolf sort of shudders for a moment, and you can see it concentrate, try and move. And for a moment, you watch as the fur begins to recede briefly, the form shifting and changing before snapping back into that of the wolf. You watch as the wolf lets out this almost like a little sneeze and whines before looking up at you.
Oh.
1 second while is your name Jade?
Which is the wolf cocks its head.
Is your name Iris?
The wolf nuzzles you, letting out a little whine as it licks your face.
Oh. Iris, do you want to go home?
The tail begins wagging as the wolf nudges, nuzzling into you.
Alright, well. Is there anyone else that you know?
You watch as the wolf
from
hangs
the
its
town?
head, the tail not wagging, the ears dropping down limp, as it looks towards the entrance and wriggles its nose.
So, there's no Tomaz?
Silence from
There's
the
no-
wolf.
There's no two others?
I knew he was going to make that joke. No, silence from the wolf.
Okay, can we go out that way? Indicating up the little
The wolf
pathway
looks
that's
up
not the
and then looks
main
towards the entrance and begins padding towards the entrance. slowly,
Okay.
checking to make sure you're following.
We can go that way, but just know it's a bit messy out that way. All right, let's go.
As Tithla begins following Iris out towards the front, that is where we will wrap up for tonight. We'll come back in next week to see a bit more of how that's unfolded. Thank you so much for joining us, everybody. I hope you have enjoyed tonight's session. For those of you watching on Twitch, don't go anywhere. We are going to go and raid a lovely friend of the channel. Tonight, let's go and raid... Oh, we got RollTogether RPG and Corsair's Cove. I tell you what, let's jump in on...
Corsair's Cove this time.
Let's do Corsair's Cove because they are live. It looks like they're doing their Humblewood campaign, which is excellent. I'll get that raid started. Everybody else who's watching on YouTube or listening to the podcast, thank you so much. We will see you all next time. We've got Avatar Legends tomorrow night, as long as I haven't lost my voice after tonight, and Return of the Giants on Wednesday night. Very, very excited for both. In terms of BG3, the Bards of the Bone playthrough, I didn't end up streaming any Baldur's Gate 3 today because I didn't want to fuck up my voice for tonight. I wasn't really feeling up to it this morning. I was feeling a bit sicker. I've taken loads of special, fun pseudoephedrine style things for tonight, which has got me through. Unfortunately, though, I don't know if I'm going to be feeling up for BG3. I'll keep you posted. If I feel like I did today, I won't do it just because I want to be able to keep the voice working properly for the Avatar streams and for the Return of the Giant streams. So I'll keep you posted. I'll chuck it in the Discord. But from all of us here tonight, thank you so much. We will see you all again very, very soon. Until then, stay safe, stay well, and see you all next time. Until then, farewell, everybody. Goodbye.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye.